Alright everyone, welcome back to Distant Star Cares Play Live 2018. We are here with Furier Speedrun. And it's going to be with Dircashede. So how's it going?
I'm going great. My one question is, we're doing this real time, so I should skip over the... Oh, shut up. Skip over the in-between fights as quickly as possible. Just no faff.
I mean, I can go ahead and just start it when you're ready, so...
I'd also say I've made the very stupid decision. I'm going to donate 25 cents for every hit I take. And $10 if I die.
I love it. Bring on that money.
And I'm going to get hit a lot, because you do a lot of damage boosting as well. Alright, so I'm ready whenever. Hello?
Alright, so that'll be up to you, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and go.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this is Furi. This is the Furier speedrun mode. I'd like to talk more at the moment, but this is one of the most annoying parts of the run. I'll explain in a bit. That was perfect. So it's a complete boss rush game. There will be just 12 bosses and nothing else.
You're gonna run back to your cell and beg me to lock you up again.
And each of these bosses have different phases where they do different things, and you're healed completely in between phases, so it's okay. And yeah, this is usual trolling. So you want to try to get them to the edge of the map so you get time to charge your sword. I wasn't so lucky there because he ran right to the middle, which is usual because this phase is really difficult. But I finished this under a minute, so that's a good start so far.
You're gonna take some putting back together when I'm done with you.
This is pure RNG. He has got like 10 different attacks he'll cycle between, and some of them are awful, some of them are good. That's just more of his nonsense. Alright, that was pretty good for my standards. So now that I have time to talk, this is the Furier mode, which is essentially the hard mode version of the game. But it's not like enemies have more health, they do more damage than that. They've actually like redesigned all their attacks to be more obnoxious and more difficult to avoid. They also give you less chance to hit you. But one thing that's in common is that pretty much all these fights have this last phase. We call it a desperation phase, where you'll spend like 30 seconds to a minute just dodging attacks. Once you get good at the game, they're really just auto-scroller. Although there is a slight bit of timing when it comes to ending this phase. Because now he's become vulnerable. I was a bit slow there. I want to hit him as quickly as possible. I actually cannot charge my sword up fast enough there. It's impossible. But he gives me a free time to do it now. And yep, that's 2:43, that's a pretty good time. Actually, it's on par with my PB so far. I will not beat that PB because it's really good. So now this is the strap, which is an enemy who is just like you. She's kind of... Whoops, that was a mistake. She's a prisoner in her own right. But she likes beating you. She's also the #1 source of trolling RNG in this game, because pretty much every phase in this fight she will have one attack she can possibly do which will just ruin your run. You'll have to restart. Which is why it's handy she's only the second boss. that was it. So she does that, and you restart your run. But I'll keep going because it's a marathon. And that's something she does like, I don't know, 20% of the time. It's really terrible. Something I haven't mentioned so far is when she goes orange and stops like that, that's a perfect parry. You parry your attacks by blocking at the right moment when she attacks. If you do it right on like a couple frames, you'll do a perfect parry and it'll stun them. In a lot of cases you don't want it, but in Fury it's very useful. Because it, especially in the shooting sections, because you want to stay on patterns where you're able to hit them as much as possible. Because a lot of these attack cycles are very particular, and you want to spend the right amount of time on the fight so she doesn't do anything you don't want. Now here's a very important skip in the run. She's going to break free of her, what do you want to call it, and she's going to run away. That's what's supposed to happen at least, but if I do this, she's not going to run away. And now I can just stun lock her for the entire phase. That saves about 15 seconds. And now here's another desperation phase, and it is, I believe, the longest one in the game. And also the easiest one, probably. So this is a full minute of just not very difficult to dodge attacks. Even if you do get hit by them, they don't do a whole lot of damage, so you don't really care. Now here's one of the Furier trolls, because if you play this game on Fury, you'll remember this laser, but then she just brings out that wave as well. And that catches you off guard if you haven't seen it the first time. Now here's another easy attack. I just have to press A 5 times. That was me being stupid. But hey, I get to give more money to charity now. That's a pretty good time. Here's a really hard part of the fight that can really cost a lot of time. I have to break through these shields, which fortunately they actually make them have less health on this mode, but he has so many things on the screen at any one time. And they're completely random. I'm shit. Oh, that's sweet. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna play this slow. So yeah, this is costing a lot of time. But I don't want to die. Crap. I got it. Okay. That helps a lot. Now this boss is just pretty simple. I always get hit by that. That was really good. Now he spawns a lot of bullets, and I'll use this time I can to take them out because they will possibly get in the way. and that's good RNG. He pretty much teleports after the attack, and he can teleport in places you don't want him to be. And that's weird RNG, he doesn't do that usually. Every now and then I just see things in this game I've never seen before, and I've got like 500 hours in it. So those bullets there are supposed to be a threat, but you actually can use them to do more damage to him. That's great. That's terrible RNG. Yep, okay, saved it. He did a really slow attack there that really messed you up. Oh shit, I dodged the wrong way. And I sweat again. I'm just gonna knock him down.
Swear jar money.
Yeah, I know. I might prefer that attack even though it's slower. It's just easier to avoid. And now this game is part bullet hell, and this part of the run is pretty much why. I've done a thing where I've beaten every single fight in this game without getting hit, and this was by far the hardest just because of this one phase. These bullets are homing, some of them though aren't, and they just are very difficult to avoid. I can't believe I haven't been hit yet. That's amazing. But I'll definitely get hit here. Because now all my bullets are just going to create more bullets. I use charge shots sometimes because they will get rid of the bullets, but it's slightly slower, so I don't want to always do that. But I haven't taken too much damage, so it should be fine. Unlike in the first phase, there are healing things you can pick up. But I'll just play it safe. Alright, that's the third boss. Just waiting for him to repair. Oh, that first phase cost me a lot of time. Lost 40 seconds. Now, this is a scale which we all call Trollman because everything he does just trolls you and runs. You have to do very precise actions to get him to do what you want. Like, if I was a little bit lower on the screen, he would have done something awful and not let me take that. I also just forgot to hit him once. Alright, that's fine. One thing that's nice about him is another boss who gives you attacks that you can send right back at him. Which allows you to go to free cycle if you like. Oops. That's fine. Attack is quite difficult to dodge. I got it perfect. Now he's just going to go into hiding and occasionally just come out to hit me. I want to get as much damage in as I can while he's doing this. Whoops. It's possible to have finished him off in that cycle right there, but I've only done it twice on this difficulty. It's really difficult. Whoops. Oh no, I know what's coming. I know what's coming. This is the worst thing. It's what do you call it? Just a cutscene attack which just wastes time. He does it if you take too long. Which I did, unfortunately. I was trying to get a perfect parry in there so we wouldn't have to dive again. Now he's going to shoot 2 pink orbs at me, which, if I can do it right, I'll shoot right at him. It's very difficult to do that. And see, I actually kind of did it, but they hit each other, so it didn't count. Perfect. Now for another desperation phase, he's going to fill the screen up with lasers. Or at least he's going to try to. I won't let him. It is very easy to die in this phase because every time I get hit, it takes out 2 health. Just get rid of more lasers. Here's a good rhythm if you're trying this. Make a triangle motion here. So go up, diagonal to the right, diagonal to the left. Easy. I didn't lose as much time as I thought I would. Now here's the second troll via.
I brought you to your knees once already, and I will do so again.
Because this boss has a special property. He has that shield, which means he will block shots when you're trying to shoot him, which is obviously not good for this speedrun because shooting is the fastest way to do damage. However, when he's doing attacks like that, he doesn't get to use the shield. And also, if you hit him at just the right angle, right at the spot, he won't block either. But it's very difficult to do that, which is why I don't like this boss. Because you can think you're doing good, and then he decides to block your attack. It just ruins it.
Go back while you still can.
It's also, I'm very bad at dodging that. It's very important to perfect parry that attack as well because he gives you very little opportunity to hit him if you don't. Oops. Doesn't matter, I took him out.
Go back while you still can. You have given me the chance to teach my son an important lesson. That when
Now here's just about 25 seconds of this.
Prevails.
I'm just waiting until I can hit him again. Which is about now. This is a scary attack when you see it, but you can just walk around it. Ah. No, I want him to get to the wall.
Surrender. You can't win.
I'm just waiting for him to run to the wall now. Now, if I get this right, here's a cool glitch that I discovered.
We build all of this. Be prepared.
This is quite a drawn-out phase, and it's quite annoying. You have to dodge a lot of his attacks. But if I stand at just the right angle... If I stand at just the right angle... Yep. Now he's just going to stand there for the rest of this while I take away his health. This actually doesn't really save a whole lot of time, but it's very helpful, because now you don't have to aim. Oh, that was close. So that attack I did there is a charge attack, which is really cool looking, but unfortunately slow in almost every case except against this boss. And again, in that section. Damn it. So now, that laser attack doesn't let me hit him, so I shoot him and it makes him prevent the attack.
You can't win.
And now, in his last burst of strength, he's going to try to hit me 17 times and miss miserably.
I won't let you.
Now here comes the song, which is the boss that a lot of people hate, but I quite like because I've gotten quite good at it. Although she does have her problems. That was great.
So stubborn. Just go back. There is no better outcome.
She's giving me good RNG, so I should be able to finish this before she does anything else. Yep.
What more could you possibly ask of me?
Now I'm going to carefully parry these, get them out of the way, give them time to shoot her. Whoops. I have no idea how much damage you can do there because I've never perfected it. Also, that is not what I wanted her to do. I'm purposely getting her to the edge of the arena, which doesn't exist yet, because like in the other bosses, you want to fight her, start her combat sections right next to the wall.
You're hurting me so much. You will stop at nothing, right?
That's her worst attack. Just because you can't hit her, really. That's the longest combo in the game. Tries to hit you 6 times and you have to wait for every single one of them before you can do a combo against her.
Is your escape worth so much suffering?
Now this is going to be similar to the third boss. She's going to put up some pillars and I can't hit her until I get rid of those. To make matters worse, those orange bullets will absorb my shots if they're even remotely close. Now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to finish this one off right as I'm in the middle of the arena, which will allow me not to skip a cutscene because I messed it up. But if I attacked her quickly enough, she wouldn't have even done that bit there, and I would save about 5 seconds, which would have put me on par with my run. Now here's another very difficult boss, and this is the one thing where I'm worried about my saying that I'll give $10 if I die, because I often die in this boss. This boss is basically a cheater. She has a one-shot sniper. To make matters worse, she often uses it when she shouldn't. So its hitboxes are bad.
disappoint. Let's play some more.
Although we do have one advantage, because she will go into hiding at the beginning of these first 3 phases, but if we use a parry attack, it will point the sword directly at her and I will not have to bother searching for her.
10. Ready or not, here I come.
I can actually parry that one as well, I just messed it up.
That was a really good try, but not quite good enough. That's okay. It's the best you can do under the circumstances.
I'm surprised I didn't get hit there. That's one of my least favourite parts of getting low hit runs. Because all those drones everywhere just troll you. Now. I probably didn't need to do that, but I just wanted to be safe.
You certainly live up to your reputation.
Now she's going to cycle between 1, 2, and 4 combos. I hit her to the wall, so I don't have to wait.
Some rely on skill, some on luck. Fools, the lot of them.
Alright, this fight has gone really well so far. Now here's what many people will say is the hardest part of the game.
Let's take this to the next level.
And that's what they say on Fury mode. On Fury mode it's very bad and even I'm a bit scared of dying. Because I have to damage boost a lot. Or use invincibility frames. She's going to try and shoot me with her sniper 7 times. She puts up walls and I have to get them behind her before she shoots. So hopefully she'll just spawn them right in front of me and I won't have to dodge. Which she's done so far.
I prepared for it. You are not taking it away from me.
So I'm taking a lot of damage, but it's fine.
I can't fail. This is my game.
So I didn't know what combo she was doing, I had to wait until she finished to know. That is an amazing time, that is actually close to the world record. It might actually be, I can't remember what the world record is.
Now I will show you what I've learned.
This is also a hard boss casually. You'll die a lot, but you probably won't take too long because it's a very short fight. So I'm already halfway through it. In fact, roughly half of this fight will be this cutscene right here.
You're reading me quite quickly.
I'm very scared though, because this is also an easy place to die. Especially in the last phase, because he has attacks which will do 5 damage to you, and you only have 10 health.
Nice.
He's going to do one of 2 things here. I'm hoping he will run to the right and start dropping waves. Unfortunately, he did not do that. Yep, I am bad at it. Oh shit! I didn't sweat it, but I did just die, so that's $10.
Something memorable.
Crap.
Something I can learn from that will make me better.
I just don't like when he does that. Now he's doing the right attack. See, if he did that, it would have been easy. I wouldn't have had to pay more money. So here's what is supposedly the easiest boss, casually, but it's one of the most annoying in speedruns, even though it has pretty much no RNG. Just because dashing precisely is very difficult. Especially right now, I'm using a controller that's not my own because my own is having difficulties.
Has a fate worse than death.
Just like against the song, those bullets will absorb my charge shots. So I want a charge shot because it does the most damage, but it's all about finding the right time to do it.
Who are you really? Why are you here? Why are you doing this?
Whoops. It's really easy to take damage quickly in this because those bullets do 2 damage and they'll often knock you off the pillars, which does an extra bit of damage.
Yes, I am paying the price for my people's freedom, but it's worth it.
So I got those 2 shots in, which is really excellent. It's not easy to do that.
I look at you and I don't understand. We're so alike.
Now, in Fury mode, this just has the lasers. In Fury, it adds those waves, but fortunately, I'm running so fast that the waves don't even reach me. Didn't reach me. You saw it. Now she has a big final attack, which is the whole purpose of this fight. She's going to try to take me out with this giant laser, which I am definitely going to skillfully dodge, and is not just a cutscene. It's just a cutscene. Oh no, she got me. Never mind. And now you're just beating a young girl to death.
You can't go
This
out
is
there.
the thing that is
You understand?
supposed to make you feel like an
Doesn't die.
absolute monster. Because she doesn't even fight you back. And now here's where Furier gets even more different, because this is a boss that isn't in Fury mode.
I survived you already. I will survive.
This guy's called the Flame. If you play this on Xbox, he's actually part of the story, I think. Now, I think this boss is a lot of fun, but no one else runs it really. Which I completely understand, because it's also a very frustrating fight. I messed that up. Part of why this boss is so annoying is because you have to be able to perfect parry on command. That one actually is really easy, I'm just joking there. But more so than any other boss, he just likes to dodge out of the way. Now he's going to make the arena smaller, which is only a problem because you still want to get him next to the corner, and as soon as you start these close combat sections, the arena gets bigger again. So it's very difficult, but I'm going to try to manage it. So I want a perfect parry here, because when he does those attacks like that, I can't actually hit him. He goes invincible. Which I did. Yeah, so I needed to get him right in the corner there, otherwise I wouldn't be able to charge up in time. That was really close. But that was really well done there. And I got him in the corner again, that's good. I completely wasted that though. I'm just gonna knock him. No, I'm not. I'm amazed I didn't get hit there. He gave me like nowhere to stand. Nah. Rip arm. So I'm going to do a mix of attacks based on what's going on. Because if I try to do a charge shot right now, those bullets there will absorb it. It won't work. Alright. Now this is a bit like the hand, he's just going to try to hit me a bunch of times. This pattern's slightly harder because he's not just going to do combat. But at the end, he goes down to one non-charge attack. That wasn't too bad. Now here's the usual final boss, the star. I think it's the one time in Furier where the boss actually genuinely does have health. More health. Because I just cannot seem to do it as fast. And I'm convinced she has more health.
Ryder, never change. Why is that?
Well, I'm doing pretty well here. Because what I'm trying to do here is I'm just standing in the corner because, for one, those bullets on the arena will never hit me. And also because it gives me the best vantage point to hit as many of those hands as possible. Each one of them has a hitbox and each one counts to damage. I can't stand right in the center there though. Now those bullets are in the way. I'm able to take out those drones, which means I won't have to worry about their attacks either.
Our survival depended on it. You had to.
Unfortunately,
What will you gain
I
by
could not
fighting
get a
us?
skip that I was trying to get
You
there.
think they will welcome you?
If I managed to overflow her HP into this phase, I'd be able to skip a death animation.
They don't even know we exist.
Also, even though I'm pointing directly at the hand on the right, I'm hitting both hands. Don't question it, just accept it.
They said you corrupted their world, that they corrupted you.
Now here's what is possibly one of the hardest parts of the fight. Is just going to cover the screen with bullets. There is not much I can do, and there's not many places I can hide. I can, however, do this. I go point blank, charge up a shot, and they're dead.
Will you destroy us to save this world that is not yours? I am disappointed.
Now welcome to the longest phase in the entire game. This is going to be 2.5 minutes. I'd say it's just a wait for 2.5 minutes, but this is actually quite difficult on Furier mode. And if I die, that is very, very, very bad. Not just to my wallet. Alright, did that well. There are 4 sections to this fight. That was the first one.
How can you be so
Now here's the part where you probably take the most damage, because these homing bullets are quite annoying to avoid. And then eventually, when she's just going to fire a lot of them. And then these green waves get very difficult to avoid, or at least avoid along with the purples. Yeah, I took a hit there. I took 2 hits. That's fine, man. Now a gigantic laser sweep across the arena, but a lot of bullets as well, which I have to get rid of before they reach me. Very easy to get hit by that laser.
You leave us no choice, Ryder. We will annihilate you.
Now this is basically, if you played Enter the Gungeon, this is basically the bit to the end of the final fight. At least it reminds me a lot of it. But this isn't the final boss. No, we've got one more to deal with. And it's quite a thing. Oops, I didn't hit enough. That's a really good time. That's possibly a world record. I need to check later. So yeah, this is one more DLC boss that was added to the game just for Furier. It's the hardest one in the game. It's called Bernard or Bernard or whatever you want to say. He's basically the test dummy that the game makers use to test out new attacks, which is why he doesn't have an actual image. And what he will do is he will emulate almost every boss you've just seen so far. So that was the first boss, now here's the second. Except when I say emulate, I mean make much harder. Most people don't like this phase because he teleports around a lot, and he gives you hardly ever any time to hit him unless you para. But I've done this well, actually. I personally don't like this because he has RNG that has no Q. Like, he has 2 different types of attacks he does there, and I can't prepare for both of them at the same time. That was perfect. It's very difficult to free cycle that fight, because if you don't, he'll run to the center and do an attack which you do not want to see. And now here's my least favourite part of the fight, and in fact the entire run, because it is a complete RNG fest which will just ruin your runs. Yep, here we go. Because of RNG, I just lost 15 seconds. I was hoping he'd do a different attack, but he didn't. He did this very slow attack. I cannot hit him during it because, well, that wouldn't be fun, would it? But I covered from it well, so that's good. I don't like that attack. And if you thought that 15-second attack was bad, there's an even longer one in this phase. And it operates just the same, he'll just sometimes do it. Oh look, it was one of those sometimes. So I'm pretty much the only person who runs this speedrun category, and this fight is possibly why. I've just lost 30 seconds to RNG. More than 30 seconds, actually. And now, to annoy pedantic people everywhere, he's doing the sword boss and the little girl boss, but in the wrong order. That was really good though. So I'm going to end with a time about 25:30 in-game time, which is about 2 minutes away from my world record, but I should say is pretty much what my world record was when I submitted this run. I made a lot of improvements. And so just like at the end of the last boss, this is about 2 minutes of an unskippable long phase. He's just going to throw everything at me. Those attacks get in the way, but you can parry them. It doesn't actually save time, I'm pretty sure. That was excellent. I've only ever done that like once or twice before. It also doesn't save any time, but it's really cool. Here's the final attack, so get ready on time. Because he's going down in one hit once I can hit him. And time! And that was Furi. If I didn't get those cutscene attacks, that would have been close to a world record time unburned. Yeah, that's actually better than I expected to get. I've been getting roughly 46-minute runs when I've been practicing. Yeah, and if any potential Furier runners are watching, by all means, do this run. I'd love to see more people on the Furier speedrun board, which I moderate, so I'll see your runs.